And today we're going to be doing an optic review. This time on a Swampfox Tomahawk 2.
Oh boy.
1 to 4. All right, so it should be a good little video. Let's talk a little bit about the LPVO, how it works, what are some of the cool features about it, you know, who is it for, why would you buy this, what's the concept around the rifle that you have here, that you have set up with the Swampfox on it, a little bit about it, because that's a brand new rifle, you know. But before we get into all of that, we would like to do a few things. First things first, disclaimer. Really important to know, we have a relationship with Swampfox. So Swampfox did send the Optic out. All right, so that's the first disclaimer. We feel like it's important to tell you guys that. Second disclaimer is make sure to go check out Basement Operator, because that's super important. That's one of the biggest ways we fund the channel here is through the merch. Sparky's got the new t-shirt on. Do not go gentle into that good night. We're doing a lot of night vision stuff. So we thought it'd be appropriately themed night vision stuff to, you know, buy on the website. Otherwise, you can just go buy some old Frosty. Still one of my favorite shirts.
Oh, yes, for sure.
Oh yeah. Huh? Actually, it is.
It is
go buy the Corona tee. That's what. Actually, I need to wear that more. Actually, I probably need a new one. I've worn the crap out of it. Corona tee is one of my favorites. So yeah, those are the two disclaimers. And make sure to follow us on Instagram so you can see hot pics of us. All right, so let's dive right into the Optic Sparky. This is set up on your new build you have here. We'll talk about that at some point. But right now, I think it's time we talk about the Swampfox. So this is a LPVO.
Low power variable optic.
Yeah, thank you for spelling that out for the people that don't know.
That's right, you're welcome.
Before anybody says anything, firearms clear, shut up in the comments. If you want to, we are doing a giveaway. So speaking of safety, we are doing a giveaway. If you want to post a photo
of you in your PPE
at the job site, or you know, on the range, or in the bedroom, wherever, as long as you're wearing protection, and you can post it on Instagram and tag me and Basement Operator, we're going to look through all of them and we're going to send out random Safety Third t-shirts. So you cannot buy the Safety Third t-shirt as of right now. I don't know if we're going to put it up for sale on the website or not, but for a chance to get a free one, make sure to just tag us in an Instagram post.
Get creative, but not like too creative.
Yeah, not too creative. It has to be able to be posted on Instagram. Do not DM me something that I don't want to see. All right, so there's Safety Third for the boomers. So the LPVO, this is a 1 to 4, second focal plane, really nice, really well finished optic. Let's start at the very back and work our way forward on it. So we'll start back there. Sparky, you have anything to say about it? How crisp it looks?
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, just looking at it, looks fantastic.
Yeah, Swampfox does a good job at making their stuff look pretty.
First thing you come to is your caps. I mean,
they're
pretty run-of-the-mill, but they are nicer than most.
Well, the thing I would say about the caps is they are branded caps. So usually typical LPVO caps, especially stuff that's more on the budget end, which this thing MSRP is for $389. They just have blank caps. These are branded with Swampfox, so at least if you take them off and you have a bunch of them in a pile, you know which one goes where.
Yeah, and they're not like super brittle plastic either. Like they got some play to them.
But I'd say they're pretty rudimentary.
Yeah, continuing on. The eye relief, as I knock it over, watch here. That's right, you know. But the eye relief on this thing is fantastic.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh yeah, just playing with it here recently. I'm a big fan of that.
How's it compared to like a Strike Eagle? Because
it's a hair better. I have to say that.
A hair better?
It pains me to say it.
Yeah, Sparky's a massive Vortex guy. This is one of his first deviations from the Vortex path here, so it's been hard on him. Yeah, so I really do like the eye relief. It's really nice. I wouldn't say it's insane. I wouldn't say for me, it's not noticeably different than most LPVOs. You have really nice branding and a nice finish. It's matte black.
Yeah.
Moving past that, you have your throw. So this is a 1 to 4 second focal plane LPVO. It's got a fairly stiff throw. It has the ability to add a throw lever in if you want the option. You would like the option. The 1 to 4 throw is, you know, fairly stiff-ish, but not too much. It does have your little 2.5s and your 1.5s if that's what you're using. Me personally, if I'm bouncing, I'm doing 1 or 4.
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Typically, I don't have a lot of 1 to 4 LPVOs. Most of mine are probably 1 to 6 if I had to guess. But if I'm using a 1 to 4 LPVO, I'm bouncing between that 1 and that 4. So I'm just going the whole way. So for me, it doesn't really do a lot to have the 1.5.
But you got it if you want it.
But you got it if you want it.
Because 1.5 I mean, like I said, you don't really need that because you could just split it halfway between the 1 and 2, and hey, it's 1.5. Like,
right.
You don't really need the branding to tell you where 1.5 is at, really. But it is.
It might just be there to take up more space.
Probably is, but
so it doesn't look so empty through there.
More than likely, that's the reason.
Right.
But you got it if you want it.
Moving on more further, you got a 30mm tube. We do have a Swampfox mount here for the mount that's on this. The mount's pretty nice.
It's
you had a critique to it. So
the only critique I've seen with it so far is when I was mounting it, where you insert the screw and you start to tighten it, you gotta have a little bit longer bit. Otherwise, you're gonna scratch up the hole real bad, taking the black off of it. But if you just got a little bit longer bit, you're fine. Yeah. But that's the only thing I noticed.
That's a minute point. The optic's bulky, or not the optic. The mount's bulky. That's because it has the ability to accept your reflex dots on the side.
Which
it's got little screws.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. But if you don't plan on running it, it is a little bit bigger. Moving on to the heart of the optic, and this is where all of the features lie within the Swampfox Tomahawk 2. So to start off, the reticle, it is an illuminator reticle. The first 2 settings are night vision compatible. And then the other 10, so it's 12 in total. It gets pretty bright. It has auto turn off, or not auto turn off, but it does have like the midway point turn off, which I like a lot. I think that should be standard on every single.
Yeah, because if you're typically running in daylight conditions, you can just go straight from off to 9 or off to 10 instead of having to go all the way around. So it is a little bit, more thought out.
Some optics, not this one, don't mark it, but do have the shut off. This one has a dedicated like click to the shut off.
Yeah.
Which I like.
It feels a little different.
Yeah, it feels different when you go. It's like a turn. So that's one of the things I think is a really nice feature of the optic.
And there are some optics out there that are a lot more expensive and don't give that little mark. So you don't know what setting you're on.
We won't name no names. Speaking of the reticle, it has a pretty basic BDC reticle. When you turn on the illumination, and I'm sure Hunter will pop up the reticle somewhere on here, it's just the dot.
Red dot right in the center of the crosshairs.
Red dot right in the center of the crosshairs. Very crisp, clean dot. Talk a little bit about this elevation and windage, Sparky, because you...
Yeah. So on the elevation, to adjust it, you have to pull up on it, and then you can adjust it. It's got real nice clicks. I like
real
how
audible. That's one of the important things I look for in a scope is how audible the clicks are when you're making your adjustments. Can you hear them? Do you know for a fact the adjustments are being made?
Yeah, and I like how you can pop it up, lock it down. So because you're mainly, if you are shooting at distance, this is the one you're mainly gonna play with for the most part.
Right.
So I like how if you can quickly adjust it, as well as if you don't need to adjust it, you don't have to worry about it bumping it with it being fully exposed.
Yeah.
But you just pull up on it and make your adjustment, push it back down. And obviously it's like most, you can reset to 0. Once you get sight in, just take it off and put it back to 0 and call it good.
And the adjustments are half MOA per click, and you have 150 MOA of adjustments for your elevation and 100 for your windage. So there's a lot of play in it.
Oh yeah.
And that's one thing I like. I like how the windage is capped. A lot of times you're just doing your holds for your windage. If you're adjusting, you're usually adjusting your elevation. You're not doing that very often on your windage, especially on a 1 to 4 LPVO. I would almost say you could just cap the top one too. But it does look good.
Yeah, for the most part, once you sight it in, you're good. You're probably gonna be using your BDC for the most part.
Right, for such a low magnification optic.
Yeah.
And then you have your 24mm objective, pretty standard with every LPVO out on the market today. Wind resistant, fog resistant. I think it's IPX7 rated, so you dunk it in water and it's fine up to a certain amount of drop or pressure. I mean, it's a really nice budget optic.
For the price point, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's right sub $400.
Yeah, it's right in line with everybody else as far as the quality and what you get.
Yeah, so, if you're watching this video, you're probably thinking like, why would you get this over maybe a Strike Eagle or maybe like one of the Primary Arms SLX versions?
Or a SIG.
Yeah, or a SIG. So this has really nice features. It is probably a tad bit more expensive than the Primary Arms. I think the Primary Arms are like $289 for their SLX version, so you're bumping up into I think another bracket, I think the GLX with them is a little bit more expensive. This is a nice median between those two. This has a lot of nicer features than the primary arms with its scope caps, or not scope caps, the turrets, and just, it's a well cleaner finish to it as well. It just looks good. So I think Swampfox did a pretty good job. Would you rather have this than the Vortex? Be honest.
These turrets sold me.
On this one
over the Vortex. So far, like,
the Vortex is a tad bit more expensive too.
Yeah, like a Venom. You know, like it is. They each have their place, but I'm kind of leaning towards this one now. This is my first experience with Swampfox.
Yeah.
And so far, massive fan, and I think this is gonna stay in this rifle for quite a while.
Yeah. Well, I do agree. So we did a Vortex review
a while back,
month or so ago, on the Venom. I think I would definitely have this one over the Venom. Just personally, I think it's cleaner, has a nicer finish, looks better. Looks are most important when you're LARPing on the flat range. I'm just a bigger fan of this one over the Venom.
Yeah.
Now, is this like the most high-end optic? No.
No, because I mean,
and the clarity on it, it's pretty good, but it's not like
whipped out a razor and said, "Here you go." I'm like,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there's the caveat to that. I think the place that this holds is you're trying to set up a budget recce build, or maybe just like a do-all.
Yeah.
And you know, you won't be disappointed in the Swampfox because, you know, it tracks.
It does everything.
It does what you need it to do. It has good clarity on it. Obviously, we have like way more expensive optics that have better clarity on them, but not for the price point.
Yeah, this one's fantastic.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't think you could go wrong if you wanted to get this, because it really does shine for that budget entry-level LPVO. So, and Swampfox is really making a name for themselves in the market. They're really up and coming and really pushing through.
Yeah, and they got a limited lifetime warranty from like manufacturer defects and that kind of stuff. Hey, look out, watch that bug. Hey man, shoot them. But like,
grab a Glock.
Yeah. But it's got the, you know, limited lifetime warranty against manufacturing defects and, you know, workmanship issues, which isn't as good as
the Vortex
warranty,
which you can basically run over it.
And they're gonna be like, yeah, it was your fault, but we replace it.
Yeah.
That's the.
Is that the cat?
That is one. I guess one caveat. You know, is that
we're here to tell it.
It's one thing. Some people, that might be a big deal.
But in terms of the workmanship,
that's fantastic. I don't think you'll have any issues. Like, and if you did, they're gonna take care of you, like every other company.
Yeah.
If they send you out a product and there's an issue wrong with it, no matter the cost of the optic, the company should treat you well.
Right. And that's to be expected. I think if any company sends you out, like you buy an optic and it's crap, because of them, they're gonna fix it. So yeah. That's standard. So Sparky, would you add anything to this optic? Would you change anything about it? What are some of the features that you think Swampfox could improve on?
Boy, I honestly,
different reticle. Of course, you can get different.
You can get different reticles, yeah, in the different models of their LPVOs. You can. I would like to try some of their other reticles. I mean, this one, I'm so far a big fan. I would like to try it with, you know, a reflex on the side.
Yeah.
And but I mean, it's a 1-4, so like.
Yeah. So use case of this is, you know, you're already throwing it to that 1 power, and you're pretty much
a 1-6 or 1-8. I could see, you know, a reflex here on the side
running it a little bit harder.
You know, would be, you know, you could justify it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But a 1-4, I mean, you don't really need it, but it would be kind of nice just to play with it. But I'm a huge fan.
So let's talk about a little bit of how we have this rifle set up to tell you a little bit how the testing went. This is on the brand new Diamondback Obsidian. So this is a brand new rifle out to us. We're going through the initial stages of the testing with it. We run a lot of Diamondback stuff, and we've been a fan of them in the past. This is Sparky's like third. I have like 3 or 4 of them as well. And so the rifle is the Diamondback. We kind of have it set up in a recce GPR build. I think this is the bread and butter for how this optic shines.
Yeah, I would say. Like, it's definitely a GPR recce-ish optic.
Right.
And that's what we got it set up for.
Big thank you to Swampfox for sending this out. We've had a great time testing it, shooting it. We haven't ran into any issues with the performance on it and how it's tracked, how it's performed like through shooting and whatnot. So we've been a fan of it. So we appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys on the next time. Make sure to, you know, check out Basement Operator and follow us on Instagram. Take someone outdoors, guys. Peace.